The coalition is one of those early contributors to the nonprofit sector that said in the world of food justice, we have to bring everybody together. We have to stop working in silos.
The Dallas Coalition for Hunger Solutions was founded in 2012. It is chaired by Congresswoman Eddie Bernice Johnson and is staffed by the Texas Hunger Initiative. The coalition is guided by a leadership team made up of a number of committed organizations and experts. The mission of the coalition is to empower all Dallas County residents to gain equal access to healthy food. Through 5 action teams, we bring to the table community leaders who are already engaged in the work of addressing poverty and hunger to take action together. The 5 action teams are child hunger, senior hunger, faith community engagement, neighborhood organizing, and urban agriculture.
I think one of the big things is that the action team provided some structure, and we provided a template and a strategy for getting out and getting the word out. And I think sometimes a lot of coalitions, I think what sets us apart is that we have been very strategic in every endeavor that we've taken on. We come to the project with a plan, and I think we come to the project with the right partners and with the needed steps to get the action accomplished.
Well, with Dallas ISD, we realized for a few years ago that breakfast was a really key element to student success and student readiness for learning. We're interested in creating a breakfast in the classroom program. And that really required reaching out to a lot of stakeholders, a lot of people in the community to develop some support for that type of thing.
Dora Rivas, who was the executive director of FCNS at the time, came to us and she said, you know, we certainly want to make this happen, but we really need help.
Many of the coalition members personally knew different board members, and we would just call them up and have a conversation and ask them what their concerns were and kind of talk about the research and what the research shows.
Through the efforts of the Coalition for Hunger Solutions in Dallas and also some other agencies such as Children at Risk, we got support for that. And I have to really commend our Dallas ISD Board of Trustees for actually bringing that forward and adopting breakfast in the classroom district-wide.
The fact that they did vote unanimously to me was a huge win.
Nutrition is important no matter what your age, and for someone who is older, it is so important that they eat right because it can keep them out of the hospital. A lot of hospitalizations are related to poor diet and not eating well. So it's very important for them. In addition, it enhances their quality of life.
Eating Well as a SNAP is a nutritional educational program for seniors who live in the Dallas County area about the benefits of applying for a governmental program and also eating well. We've had some participants learn about the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, for the first time, but many have learned new ways of eating and just living longer and more healthier. I've just been amazed at how many people have said, well, I didn't know a sweet potato would do that, or I knew that was there, but I really didn't know how to make food taste good, or I just needed someone to help me know that eating different was okay.
We are focusing on getting more older adults aware of the SNAP program, signed up for SNAP, answering any questions, misconceptions that they may have about SNAP. And then the other area that we're focusing on are really working to educate older adults about the congregate meal programs, that it's a neighborhood place where they can go and get a hot meal that makes up a third of their minimum daily requirements of nutrition, and at the same time also have some socialization.
We knew that the faith community has a lot of leverage in the community to get things done. But we wanted to figure out a way that would make it easier for them to get involved. And so we identified hunger solutions that already exist in the community. They're already pretty well known, have good leadership, and we sort of packaged the guide to display these hunger solutions so that it would be easy for congregations to identify ways in which they can help and be able to implement it.
A really great solution that our Faith Action Team encourages congregations to participate in is what's called the Community Distribution Program. And it is a program developed originally by the North Texas Food Bank to really help smaller congregations provide food to their neighbors in a way that's much easier for them. So what happens with what we call a CDP, Community Distribution Partnership, is that the congregation works with a hub, which is a large program that can store and distribute a large amount of food through the food bank. And the congregation then goes, usually once a month, to the hub and purchases the food that they need. And then they bring that food back to their church or meeting facility, and they distribute that food in the same day. So a smaller church that maybe doesn't have the resources to provide a large-scale food pantry is still really able to make a significant impact with families because of the collaborative nature of this hunger solution.
Collaborations are very, very, very important because in the urban ag, you have to work together to be able to like change, city and county codes and things like that to help people have access to this type of produce.
There was an existing community garden ordinance that was enacted in like 2010 or 11. It allowed for community gardens on property. It kind of gave some guidelines, but there weren't a lot of specifics, which was fine at the time. But then there began to be questions about whether selling out of your farm or out of your community garden plot was allowable or not. And what do you do about this instance and that instance? And so working with the City of Dallas Office of Environmental Quality staff, we were able to bring a good big group of people together. We brought obviously city staff, and we recruited some of the existing local food, urban agriculture folks to come in the room and kind of put the call out. And we began to talk about what we'd really like to have and what we'd like to see urban agriculture in Dallas become. So it was a very, very much a long process, and it took us about a year to get all the way through that process from beginning to end. But we were able to pass the ordinance in March of 2015. Through the action team, we were able to make this something that benefits a wider group of people. There was not just 3 or 4 of us sitting around deciding what was good. It was, 15 to 20 people who had input on these ordinances representing a wide swath of the city.
The Neighborhood Organizing Action Team was created based on the idea that developing sustainable solutions to hunger and achieving equal access to healthy food depends on the involvement and leadership of community members in low-income neighborhoods. It's also based on a recognition that the problem of healthy food access is connected to many other issues, from economic development to public safety to education. As a pilot initiative, the team began a process of community organizing in Southeast Oak Cliff, bringing together diverse community members to listen to and learn from each other, identify issues of common concern, and craft strategies for creating change. A process which led to the formation of Empowering Oak Cliff, a resident-led community organization.
Even as conversations have happened in Oak Cliff, They look to Empowering Oak Cliff as the voice of the community, as the leaders that they need to speak to before any decisions are made. And so that's huge. That's helping folks understand their power and then utilizing it. So it's, again, exciting to know that the coalition, by virtue of just coming together, are able to bring other folks together to be advocates for change.
Through partnerships and collective impact, the coalition has had measurable successes. If you're committed to equitable communities and interested in being a part of effective solutions to the issues of hunger and food insecurity, then we can use your help. Join us and help us build on the work we've begun.